tell us after your meetings that you so appreciate and respect us. Well, I cry bullshit. You don't respect us. If you respected us, you'd listen to us. You don't appreciate us. If you did, you wouldn't make our jobs literally impossible to do. If you cared, you would pretend that you're listening. At least. I sent you an email months ago expressing my concern about our full face-to-face return, and I didn't get a single response from any of you. Not one. Not even a message received.
Ever wonder what happens when professors take on woke nonsense armed with nothing but cold, hard facts? Watch as the wokies are left scrambling, reevaluating their entire existence. Hey everyone, today we're diving into some of the most jaw-dropping moments where the so-called wokies get absolutely schooled by cold, hard facts. It's time to see what happens when reality hits, and trust me, some of these reactions are priceless. Buckle up, let's watch them try to handle the truth. First up, we have a group of transgender students demanding tampons be available in all bathrooms regardless of gender. They were fired up, thinking they had it all figured out, until a 5th grade teacher calmly hit them with some basic biological facts. The result? Dead silence. Check this out.
Transgender boys who might not have their own money to go buy tampons, if they're provided free in the bathroom, it's a huge plus.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. Now, you can call yourself whatever you want.
Cis men don't menstruate, but trans men do menstruate.
No,
Same
they
as
don't.
non-binary people.
Only women.
Menstruating is not exclusive to cis women. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So explain to me as to why my body menstruated at
If
some
your
point
chromosomes are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct.
However, they didn't learn their lesson and tried to bring gender dysphoria into discussion, only to get absolutely obliterated by him.
People who hate the truth are because they see the truth as hateful. If you want to identify in any way you can, you're free to do so. But that does not mean that the rest of us have to join that illusion. I disagree with you, and so you call it hate. But there's no hate in my heart at all. So that's
You
wrong.
are being hateful when you tell somebody that identifies as a man that they're not a man.
That's not hateful. That's a fact.
Did you see that? These wokies have their heads so up in the clouds that even the mere biological facts offend them. If that wasn't enough, watch Sophia Laurie, CFC Outreach Director, testify in opposition to AB 1810.
AB 1810 disregards the inherent dignity of women by attempting to obscure obvious biological distinctions between males and females. This bill allows for birth control and menstrual products to be available to all persons. So let's walk through basic biology. Does a man have a uterus? No. Does a man have a cervix? No. Does a man have a vagina? No. Thus, males do not have a menstrual cycle and males cannot get pregnant. We have elected officials who lack an understanding of basic reproductive biology, that men cannot become pregnant or menstruate. Also, why would women need access to birth control in a female-only prison? We know through basic common sense, proven by science, it takes one man and one woman for a woman to become pregnant. This acknowledges the ugly reality that due to Senator Wiener's SB 132 from 2020, incarcerated men are allowed into women's prisons and women are being raped and forced into cells with men.
It's interesting how a young directorate has to give a biology lesson to adults that are supposed to make policies for our country. This just shows how far we all have fallen as a country. Next up, we've got a university professor who decided to give Gen Z a master class in critical thinking. And let's just say it shook their world when some woke students tried to tackle J.K. Rowling's so-called radical views. This professor didn't hold back. He served them a harsh dose of reality.
So when you say bigot, you're starting with the conclusion that given her bigoted opinions.
Yeah.
So first let's start with, does she have bigoted opinions? So when you say bigoted opinions,
she has had a history of being extremely transphobic, I've heard.
You've heard. So what? Can you give me an example?
If you look at her Twitter, I think you could see a few things. If you want, I could try and find something.
See if you can find one.
To me, no. Stating that sex is real is not transphobic. It's just a fact of life. It exists.
So is there anything you disagree with in that tweet?
In that tweet, I can't really see anything that I myself disagree with, but I can see why some people would think, oh, this is offensive. We can't have that here or something, because...
Sure.
Isn't it incredible how fast their arguments crumble when they're forced to actually defend them, it's almost like they haven't thought it through. As Ron Schneider puts it so perfectly,
it's an intolerance, but it's dressed up as manners. There's this certain righteousness about it that it has to be, and it's a, you know, it is very much a fundamentalist form of thinking. It's a closed system of thought.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you step outside of that, then you're a heretic and you're outside the system. And so I think that they desperately want to be in that ideology, no matter how crazy it gets.
Now let's move on to a moment that truly exemplifies what happens when someone within the system dares to challenge radical ideas with a cool head and solid logic. Watch this courageous teacher call out the school's administration for pushing students to physically attend classes while the COVID panic was still in full swing.
Tell us after your meetings that you so appreciate and respect us. Well, I cry bullshit. You don't respect us. If you respected us, you'd listen to us. You don't appreciate us. If you did, you wouldn't make our jobs literally impossible to do. If you cared, you would pretend that you're listening. At least, I sent you an email months ago expressing my concern about our full face-to-face return, and I didn't get a single response from any of you, not one, not even a message received.
That, my friends, is what a reality check looks like. Maybe it's time for these radicals to wake up and realize that Americans are done playing along with their nonsense. Let's dive into this next clip, where a school board president goes full scorched earth on radical anti-queer protesters. Watch as she, a proud queer woman herself, draws a clear line between her values and the radical liberals.
Nobody in this district will ever sexualize any kid for any reason, in any classroom, in any way, shape, or form. And those of you who believe that this might happen are allowed to read the curriculum materials, are invited into the assemblies with your children, are invited not to have your children go to the assemblies. I do not believe in forcing a parent to have a child attend assembly that they feel would be violating their values.
Honestly, somebody needs to get these radicals under control before they go full on liberals gone wild and wreak havoc on the entire queer community. And now we have a child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist, Miriam Grossman, who takes on radical doctors pushing harmful gender ideology on young people with nothing but solid fact-based research. And boy, does she drop the hammer.
First, I'm struck by her use of the phrase, sex assigned at birth. Sex is not assigned at birth. Sex is established at conception, and it's recognized at birth, if not earlier. Dr. McNamara claims that her views are science-based, but to claim that sex is assigned at birth is without any scientific basis whatsoever, and that scientific evidence shows it is life-saving. Without it, she's warning us, kids will commit suicide. Well, a growing number of countries have effectively banned the care to which she's referring. And thank God there's been no wave of suicides or other mental health catastrophes. 3 years ago, Finland placed strict limitations on medical interventions for minors. Sweden did the same thing.
She didn't just shut down their arguments, she brought receipts. Dr. Grossman even lists countries that have banned this kind of care because the harm outweighs the benefits. Who knew facts could be so devastating?
It's purposeful disinformation, the spreading of which is irresponsible. All 7 countries, and Florida too, of course, concluded that kids don't need their development interrupted, the girls don't need their periods stopped and their voices lowered, and the boys don't need to grow breasts. What they need is psychotherapy.
Honestly, why isn't the mainstream media giving these experienced doctors a platform to spread the truth? Oh, that's right. Big Pharma's got their hands in everyone's pockets. Oops, guess they can't afford a truth serum. Last but definitely not least, check out Konstantin Kisin as he absolutely demolishes woke culture at the Oxford Union Society.
I am so tired of talking about woke culture. That's why it's gone too far, more than anything else. And the only thing that wokeness has to offer in exchange is to brainwash bright young minds like you to believe that you are victims, to believe that you have no agency, to believe that what you must do to improve the world is to complain.
Seriously, this guy delivers a knockout punch to wake out ideology so hard it should come with a concussion warning. Kisin doesn't just debate, he leaves them wondering if they even have a leg to stand on. Spoiler, they don't. So, what did we learn today, folks? At the end of the day, facts don't care about feelings, and sometimes the truth hurts more than a bad breakup. It's clear that some people out there need to go back to the basics. Maybe crack open a textbook or two. If you enjoy these epic moments of clarity, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe for more reality checks. Hungry for more wokey takedowns? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Just click on the screen to watch the next video. And remember, don't be a wokey. Stay woke to the truth.